Welcome, I'm Mike Ortolano, editor at Esperlux. We're here at Dubai Watch Week 2025 with Claude Greisler, co-founder of Armin Strom, checking out the novelty for this show, the 1 week skeleton rose gold. Claude, great to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
Of course, my pleasure. Walk us through this release and talk to us a little bit about how this was kind of the first watch that was built in-house. The 1 week, you've now come back to it with an entirely updated movement and case. And
so, as you mentioned, the 1 week was the very first caliber, which we launched in 2009, was a double barrel movement, also with 7 days power reserve, also having a power reserve indicator. The new 1 week is an updated version of the first caliber. So what we did, we increased the frequency. The frequency is higher by 1 hertz. So we went from 2.5 to 3.5 hertz. We still have the winding mechanism on the dial side, which is for me personally a very cool feature, because that means when you have a long power reserve, you have to wind up the watch for a while. So I'm a fan of hand winding watches. I really like the click system and to hear and to see the ratchet mechanism. So that was the idea, was to bring that mechanism to the dial side. So when you wind up, you see the 2 ratchet wheels winding up. Amazing. There's also a power reserve indicator driven by a cone system.
Yeah,
so it's a cone, like cone system which we have here. It's a cone that goes up when I wind up the watch, and it goes down when the watch is running. And this cone drives a lever, and the lever is indicating the power reserve indication, which is located just above the small second hand.
Very unusual. 3-dimensional power reserve indicator.
Absolutely, yeah. We wanted to counterbalance the cone system. So the 3-dimensional power reserve indicator, this actually goes from a very low polished section to a very high polished section.
Yes.
And there is a little red arrow which is engraved on the main plate, which indicates towards the power reserve indicator, and that gives you an idea of how much power is stored in the watch. The idea was not to have a very obvious power reserve indicator like a fuel level somewhere on the dial, because it's skeletonized, it's open work. It's all about exploring the hand finishing, so there's a lot of hand finishing involved in that watch. And then to have that polished cone which indicates you the power reserve is quite cool.
For sure.
So we went smaller in diameter, so we downsized the movement, as well as the total height. It became thinner than the previous version, because we upgraded. The whole gear train is new.
Yes.
The barrels are new, so we have the look from the original caliber, but regarding the components, actually it's a completely new caliber which was built.
And a different and new skeletonization as well.
Yeah. So we have the regular 1 week, the 1 week which is the non-skeletonized version. They are open worked. I mean, all our watches are open worked.
DNA, that's the DNA exactly. Of the Armin Strom brand.
But the titanium and the rose gold version, they are fully skeletonized. That means even the barrels, the bridges are more open worked, and definitely on the backside, there's much more skeletonized work involved than the standard version. The standard version has the classic 3/4 bridge with Geneva stripes. Here we have much more skeletonization on the backside.
Yes, and abundant fine finishing everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, finishing, that's very important to us. I mean, the reason why Serge and I decided to take over the brand from Mr. Armin Strom is because, first of all, we were strongly believing that the movement should be visible from the front and from the backside. So transparent mechanics. And hand finishing. I mean, the Armin Strom was one of the first independent watchmakers focusing on hand finishing, because when you open work a caliber, everything has to be done perfectly.
Yes.
So he was using hand beveling, he was using engraving, he was using...
Everything was polished.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a beautiful watch. Thank you so much for showing us. I hope you have a great show. And
thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe and follow us for more content here at Dubai Watch Week 2025.